All right, hello, Idiots on Parade, the too ugly for TV podcast. We mock the news so you don't have to. I am Nathan Timmel, stand-up comedian in Iowa City. With me, as always, is Jake Vevra, stand-up comedian in New York City. Hello, Jake.
How's it going?
All is well here. Joining us today is Dan Raney, a fella I met in Colorado and now lives in North Carolina. Hello, Dan.
Hey, how you guys doing? Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being on, man.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Appreciate it.
All right, let's jump in. We are recording on August 4th. We're going to post this on August 5th. I did not want to talk about this first story because it's a week old and it's dumb. It's old news. And then just before we were going to record, a news story broke, breaking news. And I said, oh, it's fresh again. What happened was a week ago, the Olympics opened. And Christians that don't really understand their own faith or world history got their panties in a bind because of a float that represented the Greeks and Dionysus, blah, blah, blah. And after it was explained, some of them were still butthurt. Some of them got over it. But today, hours ago, the Vatican...
Can't they technically still be upset and call it pagan shit? I mean, isn't there still room for outrage?
There's always room, but this is where we're going. I saw the headline, Vatican issues statement on Olympic float, and I said, here we go. It's been explained for a week. Everybody's over it. The Vatican just has to say, hey, everybody, we are secure in our faith. They weren't mocking us, but even if they were, you know what? That's on them. We are Christians. We can get over it. No, of course not. They said, oh, they were making fun of us. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, Vatican, from hiding priests from fucking boys to this. Is there anything you can't get wrong, you fucking crybaby sandy vaginaed cunts?
I just think it's hilarious that like they're only a week behind now because typically it's at least a decade. You know, these guys
issue a statement in 2036.
Right. This is a fucking non-issue, man. I haven't met a single Christian upset about any of this stuff. The only people upset are the right-wing people. It's political. It is not a religious issue. Nobody gives a shit. People have been making fun of the religious people forever. And, you know, I think if the Christians actually wanted to, you know, have any say in this, they would take, this is probably a little harsh, but I mean, like, look, there's one religion out there. Nobody makes fun of them. And there's
because nobody wants to get vest bombed.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah, that's right. If the Olympics had balls, they would have a drag queen prophet Muhammad. Show us you got balls, Paris. Go full Charlie Hebdo. Come on now.
I mean, but I like your comment that they're usually a decade behind, but I do know one Christian that was pissed off about it, and this was the discussion happened 2 days ago. Again, after it had all been explained, after everything was out in the open, it wasn't like day of outrage. This was several days later. I'm still mad about this thing that I got wrong. And that's the part that I find so funny, and I'm going to admit it's sad, that it's like you want to be angry so badly that even when you're wrong, you're going to hold on to your anger. And I stand by what I said up front. If you were truly Christian, if you had true faith, you would look at it as, you know what, they're poking fun. That's on them. If they go to hell, they go to hell. I don't judge. I don't cast stones. No, the fact that they get butt hurt, I agree with you, Dan. They do. It comes mostly from people seeking political opportunity. But I at least know one that was still.
Did they know that they were upset before somebody told them to be upset, though?
That's the part I don't know.
Iowa originally as well. And my parents, I was back home visiting in Indianola, Iowa. They had no idea to be upset until they were told to be upset. But that's
right.
The moment, I suppose.
I don't watch it. I don't really watch the Olympics at all. Like sometimes I'll be someplace where it's being played. But I mean, to not just like, oh, hey, I don't want to wait to watch the Olympic events, the, 1,200 Olympic. I don't want to just watch that. I want to watch some kind of sketch theater bullshit that they're also doing before the 1,200 events. And it would like, who is watching that much Olympics, man? That's what I'm offended about, that they felt the need to throw sketch comedy into the Olympics, and they're not even giving out medals for best sketch comedy. They're just like, here's a half-assed drag queen doing the Last Supper, and now on to the real show. And it's like, nah, if you're going to put it up there, give one of the drag queens a medal, I say.
they
Agreed,
did
man.
have a heavy metal band. So, I mean,
Oh,
they
there you
rep
go.
they represented heavy metal. That's kind of cool.
Look, dude,
What
I'm not gonna lie. Like, I have watched that video at least like 15 times. Like, I'm an old school metalhead, man, and I really loved seeing them do that in a castle. So for me, that is like the highlight of the Olympics. But you can't get through one of these fucking events without these guys. Just everybody finds something to be upset about. Like, I saw, like, what's her name? Simone Biles. People were like throwing a fit about the way she wears her hair. Like, it's just fucking insane, man. I
I
don't know
haven't
if
even
you
seen
guys
that.
actually talk about this week in and week out because it is insane what people go through. Like, it drives me nuts. I don't know how you guys can put up with it.
Well, I'm going to say this. Dan, I'm offended by what you just said, calling the heavy metal part the highlight of the Olympics, when I very excitedly sent a news link that we need to talk about. The highlight of the Olympics is it has got to be French pole vaulter's bulge costs him an Olympic medal. I mean, my God, Anthony Ammirati, did you watch the clip? It's mesmerizing. It's the best clip I've ever seen. Did you guys watch what I sent you? You have to see
It's
it.
I honestly didn't see what you sent me, but I have seen the clip.
Yeah,
It's
it's gone
pretty
viral.
incredible.
His dick knocked he's a pole vaulter. His dick knocked it cost him the medal. It knocked that they should cancel the Olympics right later. That is the highlight. It's like when you have a guy's dick that's so big, it's knocking the
Yeah.
pole down. You're
That
done.
that was
That's
my
co-
whole. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, I think, like, getting a silver medal in the Olympics, that sucks. Getting a gold medal in Olympics, that should be the highlight. Having your fucking dick knock you out of gold placement, that is, you can't beat that, dude. That is, you won the Olympics, like, for every sport.
That's right. That's right. That's called losing the battle but winning the war. That's what that guy did. The guy that was up there with the gold medal as they're playing his national doop 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 doop. He was sitting there kind of sad. He had his hand on his heart. He's doing whatever he's doing, but he knows I'm not the real winner chicken dinner of the Olympics.
They have done studies, and apparently, after interviewing hundreds of medalists, the happiest person up there is the gold medalist because they won. The second happiest is the
How
bronze
much
medalist.
money did they waste on that fucking study? Come on now.
That's where I'm going. That second happiest is the bronze medalist because they made it there, and the least happy is the silver because they didn't win gold. But that just got shot to shit, like you just said. Now the least happy is the gold medalist because yeah, he's got gold, but he's got a small dick. I mean, that's
Yeah.
just all there is to it.
I
But
mean,
see
it's
how
incredible.
I mean,
Yeah.
you could put that in any sport. Oh, Michael Phelps beat me because my dick gave too much drag in the swimming pool. Like my dick was acting as a
Right.
drag.
Right. There's probably some really hardcore pole vaulter who's like, I'm going to start taking hormones, make my dick smaller. I'm not going to lose like that guy. I'm that dedicated to pole vaulting. I like pole vault more than pussy. And so I am going to shrink the size of my dick to get that extra millimeter or whatever over that goddamn pole.
He's taking estrogen, which will not get him disqualified because they'll check for testosterone, which can bring us right into the segue to back to outrage. We went from outrage to happy joy to outrage again. I think I only have one Facebook friend that, after the whole boxing kerfuffle was explained, still posted something saying men shouldn't beat up women in boxing. Like, this is
I'm
2
still
days
seeing 'em.
ago. How do you do this 2 days later? How 2 days later do you continue to get it wrong and be angry?
Well, even when it first happened, I still was like, all right, well, I don't know why you're so mad about it. Did you put money on the small cisgendered woman? What are you doing? Did you learn nothing from Biff and Back to the Future too? I'm betting on the trans one. Did you bet on the Decepticons in the movie Transformers as well? What are we doing here? I'm letting rent money ride on the tall girl with the bulge in her shorts and the fire in her eyes. Come on now. I need this. J.K. Rowling doesn't need to bet on the trans lady because she's got $1 trillion for making Game of Thrones for preteens. But I need the money. J.K. Rowling can suck me and all those beautiful young women's dicks. But then
Did JK apologize? Because she got it wrong. Did JK? Because
Oh fuck no, I doubt it, man. I doubt
saw
it.
her tweet. Yeah.
Well, dude, I saw people arguing about it, even as people were pointing it out in the comments. They're like, yeah, no, there's been some misinformation here. That boxer was actually born a woman and is indeed a woman, not a trans woman, not like, but she was born with a vagina and no dick. Like she's a woman. And they're sitting there going, yeah, they're getting all like they're digging in and trying to defend it. Yeah, but look at the knuckles though. That's how you can tell, bro. That's how you can tell. Why is her ring finger the same length as her pointer finger? That's dude shit, bro. That's dude shit.
Dude, I honestly have read so many articles about this shit, and I'm still not sure if she's a man or a woman or not. Because apparently, I get my news from Russia. Apparently, they banned her from like competing. I still don't know what the fuck's going on. People are saying she has XY chromosome. I'm a dumb shit. I just look at her as like, this looks like a badass girl who I don't want to fight in a match, and that's all I know about it. But do you guys know? Is she like? Has this been settled at all?
Yeah,
like,
yeah, man.
Born a woman in puberty, started changing, and then they discovered that she had high testosterone. But born with a vagina, no trans, no nothing, just
right.
And then she took advantage of it. She's like, "Oh, this is my lot in life. I'm not going to be a swimsuit bikini model. I can buy." So she took.
That's what I thought too. Okay, common comes into play. Okay, this is good to know, man, because it's getting too confusing when you're a dumb shit, and I could not figure it out. I was like, I have no idea what the fuck is happening here. But
yeah, honestly, the second somebody told me, no, she's really born a woman, I believed them because one thing that did strike me as odd is I looked at the flag on her chest and I'm like, that's like an Islamic country. Is it Turkey? What is it? And I looked at them, I'm like, Algeria. Okay, there's only two things I know about the country of Algeria. That it's hot and they don't let trans women play in women's sports. Dude, say what you want about Islamic countries. They've never been accused of being too woke on gender shit. It's not going to happen. It's not going to be like, listen, cover your hair if you go outside, but gender is fluid. Like that's not how it goes anywhere.
That's fair. I
did read an article. Go ahead, Dan. I actually did read an article about Iran that said they are more okay with trans people than gays because they say, "Oh, you were born in the wrong body. Fine, we're going to get you surgery right now. You better be goddamn sure because we're going to cut it on or add it or do whatever because you can't be gay. But if you're in the wrong,
that is a good point.
Yeah,
Iran is a strange exception to that. Gay, death penalty, gender, 100% fluid. It's a weird thing. Like if they catch a gay couple, they're like, one of you better be trans, but not both of you trans because that's a double negative, and we got to kill you again. And so one of you, I don't care if you rock paper scissors it. No pun intended.
Kind of makes me feel like they're a little more liberal than I thought. I didn't know you had any out there, so at least you have something. Like it's not completely a lost cause.
Yeah, I mean,
it's pretty wild, man. I saw a doc that said the way it happened was there was like an Ayatollah in the 90s, I want to say, and there was a trans rights activist that went and convinced him that the all-knowing and all-powerful God of the universe sometimes just puts people in the wrong bodies. Kill them if they're gay, sure. But sometimes God fucks up and puts them in the wrong. Dude, we got to correct it for God. That's what God, if the prophet was here now, he would tell you, yeah, you gotta correct it for God. And I'm like, the balls on this trans lady, no pun intended, because she's walking into going, if I don't convince this fucking guy that,
getting tossed off a roof.
Well, yeah, it's like, dude, I better convince this Ayatollah who murders people for being gay, like they're killed by the state. If I don't convince him that trans is cool, I'm gonna die. It's like, dude, I would never. I don't say, dude. I don't mean, dude. I'm just, I'm not trying to dead name nobody. I'm just saying that is fucking bravery. There should be a statue of this person somewhere because I've never. The guys pushing the flag up at Iwo Jima. That statue should come to life and support whoever the fuck that is.
Thank God for that. That confused Ayatollah, dude. Like that's what we needed.
You made me think of Jake.
I don't know how you can be so right on trans stuff but so wrong on gay stuff. Like it's so wild to me,
man. And women
stuff. Yeah. It's like,
it makes me think of
You can change into a woman, but I'll beat the shit out of you if you walk outside without your hair wrapped up. Like, that's crazy.
It's a lot like North Carolina. This is great. Yeah, it's no different.
You have complained. Yeah, this makes me, the way you said that, Jake, it made me think of the way that they're okay with trans. Kind of like when Mormonism in the late 70s, 78, 79 said, oh, you know what? Black people exist. I guess black people are okay, because up until Jimmy Carter said he was going to pull tax exempt status from the Mormons because they were racist and exclusionary. So suddenly it was like, black people are okay. Like I got a sign from God that black people exist. Like,
yeah, but they were at least behind the times on everything. They weren't like, I'm not sure if black people are real, but my pronouns are they, them. Like, what, you know what I mean? They weren't like super progressive with some shit, but not others.
I want to.
But I will say, back to this boxer though. I felt,
go ahead.
Once I discovered that, people had got it wrong, that it was a woman, I started to feel bad for her, because I'm like, this is supposed to be a happy day. She just wanted the Olympics, and she's sitting there going, God damn, I know that I don't look exactly like Taylor Swift. I didn't realize I was so homely that it would cause an international incident, man. Like, this is fucking wild. Like, this is crazy.
Ego hit.
You know what's nice about the whole thing, though? It's not nice, but even, I don't know which one, Logan or Jake Paul apologized, said, hey, you know what? I got this wrong. I was spreading misinformation. There were a couple of people, the boxer that cried and left the ring, that said, I did not mean to start all of this. I would love to apologize and embrace her. I mean, so I don't want to say some good came of it, but yeah, there were people who did correct course, and I want to give them props, because so many people don't. Not for nothing, just on a side note, because of when we're recording, I did just type up and refresh. I was kind of thinking that Kamala would announce her VP pick while we were doing this, and we could throw it right in there, but still hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
Oh, good. I thought you were talking, it was going to be like the trans boxer. I was like, oh shit. All right. These guys really have gone off the rails. Cool, man. Yeah, cool.
I think the trans boxer should be Kamala's VP pick. I say go hard left.
Lean in.
Man, we have a strong chance at this.
All right. This next story is absolutely my favorite. I could not love this enough, because I saw the story. I fucking called it. I posted it on Facebook in a group I'm in. I said, oh my God, he is about to get hit with reality so hard. We have to talk about this. And several hours later, I had to post the follow-up, because it had already happened. Kyle Rittenhouse said, I'm not voting for Trump. Write in, who did he say? Ron Paul. He said, write in Ron Paul. And I'm like, oh, he's about to find out that they didn't give two fucks about him. They just liked him because he was on the inside. Now they're going to turn on him. And they turned so fast that it was only a matter of several hours before he said he had deep discussions with the Trump campaign. And now he's voting. Like, no, dude. They all turned. You thought you were the celebrity. Oh, they're going to follow me. I'm Kyle Rittenhouse. No, they all turned on you, and you fucking caved, you fucking crybaby coward. Oh, that was so beautiful to watch happen in real time.
Agreed.
Yeah, I mean, why is he talking this shit now? The primary's already happened. Shouldn't he have been out there with this message a long time, like 6 fucking months ago? What's he talking about? Why would he expect the Republicans to flip from the one who they voted for in the primaries? There was other people running, Kyle. You could have been out there on the DeSantis train or somebody. Surely there was somebody there with like an AR-15 tramp stamp. It was a Republican primary. You could have found someone. The fact that you're waiting, was he asleep this whole time? Was he in some kind of coma? Did he shoot himself? And
man.
What the hell happened?
Dude, this guy, like this, I tried, like I read the articles, and the entire time I'm trying to read about this guy, I felt like a fucking retard. Sorry, an idiot. I know you can't say it. I felt like a goddamn moron, man. You cannot. The Republican Party stands by a 21-year-old dude who is a double murderer. However you look at, like, this is one of the cornerstones of the party, and I just can't take it serious. I don't give a shit. You're 21 years old. You're supposed to make mistakes. It is so funny that these people are just like holding him up as some kind of pariah. This guy's a 21-year-old asshole, man. Who gives a fuck what this guy thinks? But unfortunately, he is part of our political discourse today. All I have to say about all this is when I read about fucking Kyle Rittenhouse, I am so happy I didn't bring kids into this world. And I apologize that you guys have them. You guys actually have to deal with this shit, man. Like, this is fucking retarded. You guys have literally been around like as long as I have. This shouldn't be normal. We're talking about Kyle Rittenhouse, and this is serious. Like, this is a real problem.
I can't argue point with you. I have two kids. Jake has two kids. I love my kids like nobody's business.
Yes.
But I agree with you. It's like, fuck, what? I saw an interview.
I would have been behind Kyle Rittenhouse if he would have endorsed Logan Paul instead of Rand Paul. He would have had my vote then.
Oh God, I'm drawing a blank on his name. Who played the president in Idiocracy?
Terry Crews.
Terry Crews,
Yes.
thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I was picturing him. I saw an interview with him today where he said that in 2016, people were saying, "Oh, it's getting close to idiocracy." You know, Trump, a former reality star, running for president, and he said, "No, I hear you, but we're." And then he saying, when Hulk Hogan tore his shirt off at the Republican primaries, like, that was me. That was me as president in Idiocracy. Like I said in 2016, it would never get there. We're there. I mean,
Yeah.
that's literally, yeah. And so to bring that back to your point, Dan, yeah, I love my kids. And fuck, I look at the world around me. I'm like, this, it's not getting better.
Yeah. Like, look, guys, I know you guys are doing a comedy podcast. I completely get it. I just have a question for you. Like, my wife, we're 40, all right? So she's 39, I'm 40. She was seriously considering having kids. And I 100% think, like, this is not, like, I take this serious. I'm like, I don't think I want to bring a kid into this world. Like, is that something that should be taken seriously? Or do you guys, like, you know, it's America, things happen, you know, they go back and forth? Because this is fucking insane that we're talking about Kyle Rittenhouse and we're joking about it, but this is real shit, like, to at least half the country.
No, to me, it got really bad before Kyle Rittenhouse. The whole idea of I'm blanking on everybody's goddamn name.
I don't want you to spend much time on it. I'm just asking, like, are you guys seriously concerned about any of this? Because I'm trying to be funny about it and I can't because I just get so pissed.
No, the only reason I had the kids is because I felt the same way you did about Rittenhouse, but then I read some of his slam poetry, and it changed my mind on the guy. It's like, well, you know, some people have faults, and they, you know what I mean? Like Richard Pryor was a drug addict who beat his wife sometimes. So it's like Kyle Rittenhouse. He shoots people at protests, on bad days, but then on good days, he writes amazing poetry.
Good fucking point, man. My bad. Yeah, that's a good point.
No,
I mean, if you think he killed in Wisconsin, you should see how hard he kills on stage at poetry open mics.
Holy shit.
I think the tipping point was George Zimmerman when he shot Trayvon Martin and people championed, like, when he got off, when he stalked, when the 911 operator said, "Do not get out of your car," and he went after Trayvon, and Trayvon defended his own life. Trayvon was defending himself and got shot and killed, and they went, yeah, you know, you stand your ground. It's like that's kind of when I gave up, when I said, if I try and take it seriously anymore, I'll go fucking insane. Because how can you? How can you worry about this when it is so fucking absurd and sad? You have to fucking try and laugh about it, because
absurd is the word, man. And again, I'm sorry, I didn't want to derail this.
No. You're the guest.
I was just that serious because I'm like, fuck, dude. I'm reading these stories. I'm just like, this is to me, it's heartbreaking, man. Like I want to laugh about it, but you know, it was funny in 2020, 2024, and like now I'm reading about Project 2025. And it's like, holy shit, this stuff is it's pretty fun. I mean, at least
honestly, I used to think, in all seriousness, I used to think more like you do before I had kids. I'm like, oh, the world's all fucked up, and George Zimmerman's going to be president one day with Hulk Hogan as his VP or whatever. Like I saw the whole thing happen. You know, Kyle Rittenhouse is going to be the Secretary of Transportation. There's going to be it's going to be weird, but if you really think about it, though, this isn't that bad compared to what it was like to be a human being in the vast span of human existence, right? Like right now,
Sure.
okay, Rittenhouse says crazy shit on Twitter. For most of the time, human beings on the planet, jaguars all the time, all the time, and saber tooths. And it's like, dude,
Sure.
if you tried to complain about Rittenhouse or any of the problems that the three of us have to a caveman, he would be like, "Get out of my cave! I don't want to hear this shit." Oh, you're going through global warming with an air conditioner. Try an ice age with no insulation or door on the front of your cave. Even your cats have bullshit pet cats. Our tigers are tougher than your tiger. They got the big ass saber teeth and shit. And like, dude, you think, oh, we had COVID-19. No, oh, something that 99.9% of people survived and they had a vaccine for. The common cold takes the caveman out. Getting the cold in the caveman days
True.
more dangerous than starring in a movie with Alec Baldwin or blowing a whistle on Boeing.
I agree with both of you. I didn't want kids my entire life actively. My wife, sort of made it a make or break with the marriage. She's like, I'm going to want kids. And I'm like, I've never wanted kids, but I knew I loved her. And she will tell you, she was 9 months pregnant. And I was still like, fuck, I hope I can do this. I've never wanted kids. And then when I held my daughter, I'm like, holy shit, I love this thing like I have never loved anything else. Like, sweetie, I love you. You're my wife. I married you. I loved you. But this little creature I'm holding, it's an amazing flip. But I do want to.
Yeah. Having kids was my wife's idea too. I didn't want kids.
Yeah,
You know
no
what I mean?
guy does.
No.
But I will say this from you both have a unique point of view that I don't, which is you're both former military. I don't know how many tours you did, Dan, but Jake, Iraq and Afghanistan, horrible. That could, I don't want to say, give you a different perspective on life and how humans
All
treat
right,
one
okay.
another.
Even then, I'll go with the same argument.
No,
There's
no,
wars and shit that are terrible today. You know what these wars today don't have? Drummer boys. How fucking nuts were people back then? Like, hey, do you got a second grader? You want to walk into direct cannon fire? We're bored and need tunes. Can he do this? We don't need like Neil Peart from Rush. We just need some. Can he do this? What helps is March. We also recruited people that are so dumb the whole left right thing fucks them up without a preteen drumming in a little Fisher Price Confederate Army uniform or Union, depending on where he's born. I'm not implying that the child beating the drum is doing it for racist purposes, but I'm just saying now we don't have drummer boys.
No, and also,
So
I've never understood.
I agree with him.
I've never understood when it comes to early wars like the Revolutionary War. Hey, let's just all line up and shoot at one another. That's just so fucking bizarre to me. I'm not saying war is good, but the idea that you hide from the bullets and try and shoot, that makes so much more sense than let's just go into a field and stand and face each other and just shoot. And
I'm with you, man.
Well, exactly. And that's why you hear people say things now like what toxic masculinity is worse than it's ever been. Really? Because in the Revolutionary War, they were like, don't run and hide behind a tree when they shoot. It makes you a homosexual. I'm standing here like a man, and they would do that. Stand in front of the cannonball. Don't become a fairy, like that was just what they did. And I'm like, what? I don't think this is crazy. What are you blowing each other behind that tree? Oh, I've been shot like a man.
Hey, so I have a question for you, man. So I was reading this about all this Project 2025 shit, and then they said that Trump ended up going to Agenda 27, I think is what his thing is called. But regardless, I guess
but the original name was Diet Project 2025. But
yeah, exactly.
They felt it was too on the nose.
But it's so fun because I was watching something about it, and it said that military benefits, they're going to go after people like me who are Air Force and didn't do a goddamn thing and take away our disability benefits. And I'm just curious, have you guys heard anything about them taking away military benefits?
The only thing I've heard is the byline where I can't say that I read the entire report, but I did get a copy of the PDF when it first hit I didn't want to read news stories say it says this. So I took the PDF and I went through, and they were very nice in that they bullet pointed everything they wanted to do. And yes, it's amazing that part of it was go after military benefits, go after the VA. It's
Is that
insane.
Oh
not
yeah, unions.
as a
Mhm.
political rallying point to go after the military? Like,
Well, I mean, it
holy
worked for Trump. I mean, we're talking about a guy that insulted Gold Star families, insulted John McCain, and like
sure.
he went after him, and people just they did not care. It was amazing to watch. I mean, if you take away the outrage, if you take it away like, oh, I can't believe Trump said that. If you take a step back and go, holy shit, he's literally insulting, the military, and people are cheering. It's fucking astounding the hold he has over his followers.
And
But
that's
yeah,
Well,
what fucks
especially
me up is my friends are all military, and like most of them actually did shit. Like I didn't do a goddamn thing, but like most of my friends, Army Marines, they did shit. They're still Trump supporters. And I just don't understand how you can
hey
make them.
man, same with most of my friends. Yeah, they were.
Yeah, how the fuck does that happen, man? Like you're rooting
It's pretty
against
wild.
Trump. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
wild.
I do think I sent you the headline when it comes to it. I love how the 2025. I think it's going to make another turn. It's got to make a comeback because it was a good selling point for Democrats. Jake and I are both independent, but we vote. And basically, Jake is more insane than I am. He voted for that fucking Green Party last time around. He did a protest
Hey,
vote.
good
Like,
for him,
yeah.
man.
I was. Well,
Yeah.
I'm in New York, man.
Yeah.
Do you realize the cosmic political shift that would have to happen for New York to go red? Like it would be, if it was like, well, hey man, I think you fucked up by voting for the Green Party. Really? Things got so fucked up that somehow all of New York voted red and you're somehow blaming this on me? Crazy shit happened. Nukes would have to fall before New York went red. That would be like Alabama going blue. I mean, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, never gonna happen.
I was just we're out of time. I got a 2 minute on the clock now, but it was interesting that the project director stepped down from project 2025 so that they can make it public. I love the idea that um, this is a bad talking point, so we're going to make a public show of him stepping away. It's not over. They didn't shelve it. That if Trump gets elected, it's coming right back. It's the theater of it that I find. You talk about Rittenhouse. This is what I find scary. The fact that, like you said, people this directly affects will hate it, and so they'll say, well, this is bad press, let's shelve it. But they're not shredding it. Shelving and shredding are two different things. It's gonna come back, and so I hope that they keep hammering it home that if Trump gets elected, this is what happens.
Well, I think the problem, and sorry to cut you off, I know there's only a little time left.
No,
so
no,
I'm
I stopped for that.
Nobody gives a fuck about policy, man. Like everybody out there, nobody cares. Like Project 2025 is a byline. Nobody gives a fuck. Are you gonna fuck up the liberals or are you gonna fuck up Trump? And nobody cares anything outside of that. Nobody's looking at policy. And besides, none of these assholes are gonna pass any law. Biden had that whole thing about SCOTUS reform, knowing full well that nobody's gonna get any of that shit passed. Nobody's doing a goddamn thing, dude. So this whole thing is just a clusterfuck. You guys have kids. I don't. I'm the winner of the podcast. That's all I have to say.
All right. Well, we are going to get cut off. So you can find me at nathantimmel.com. I have a 1 hour special on YouTube. I have a t-shirt store. You can find Jake on all social media at Jake Vevra. You can listen to him give advice with relationships on Twisted Cupid every Thursday live on YouTube. Dan, promote the shit out of yourself.
Absolutely, guys. Please follow me at Danny Muffin Top. I did that when I was 25 years old, and that's what I'm stuck with. So at Danny Muffin Top on everything. And again, after this, I'm sure you won't want to follow me because I'm completely cynical as fuck. But anyway, thank you guys so much for having me. I really enjoyed it.
Oh, I want to have you come back.
Yeah, thanks for being on, man.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. Bye, guys.
Really nice.
Kyle Rittenhouse should run with Caitlyn Jenner, and he will be the next. He'll be the next president.